Hello there, singing friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Mickey here, your friendly neighborhood singing coach, with another reaction to Quarter After 3. This was a request from Michael German, and today I'm going to be reacting to their song Drained. Again, Quarter After 3 is the Manudakis family band. And just to give you guys a heads up, I'm really excited that a lot of you have made video requests. And I'm so happy that you guys care about what I think and are using my new reaction service. I just wanted to let you know that there is a little bit of a queue now, and I'm going to try to do at least one video a week and more if I have the time. So Neil O'Dwyer, you are on deck with your request. You will be our next video. All right, I'm also trying a different recording method. I noticed on my last two videos there was a very strong electronic hum, very annoying. So I'm trying to use a lav mic today. Please let me know if the sound improves. Otherwise, I may have to buy another iPhone, and I'm not excited about that. So, although my youngest son will be excited because he'll get my old one. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right in and check out the song because I'm very excited. Okay, so right off the bat, I really like the piano arrangement. Let's see what chord that is. So it's a C minor chord, and she's doing these like rolling arpeggios. Something like that. But I really like Andrea's use of the entire keyboard. She starts really low and goes all the way to really high. And she really she drives the energy of the song by playing a lot of notes. You know what I mean? She could just block the chords and then it wouldn't have that momentum. So I really like her style of playing. I think it fills out the sound a lot, especially since she's the only one carrying the melodic accompaniment in these songs now.
Comforted in your own space, just a second to relax again. It's funny, it's sad, it don't make a difference. Are you even listening?
All right, so we've got the verse, and it sounds like it's all just a C minor chord, right? She's doing like, and then her left hand is crossing over her right hand, Freddie Mercury style, and she's kind of hitting some little accents, but all within the chord. And I like how she's got the two levels of keyboards, so she can play those notes and bring those melodic notes out, and it sounds like two instruments playing. Also, Sarah's voice, very, very strong. She's got that really connected alto low range. Da, 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 da. That to me sounds very like bluesy, jazzy. I know that I had made that observation in the video that I did last time, which I will link at the end of this one. I reacted to Woven and Stuck, and somebody responded that they know Sarah and that she hasn't had any jazz or blues training, and I was very surprised by that. I don't doubt that it's true since they obviously know her and I do not. But I hear a lot of that kind of like, oh, that like very, very like, you know, when you think of like Aretha Franklin or something like that really, really deep, big grounded sound that immediately makes me think of that type of singing.
Don't you hate moments like this?
All right, sorry to cut it off there. I didn't know where it was going to end. But I like that her left hand is playing that melody. She changed the sound on the keyboard, and it's kind of like, right? And then it goes to a B major chord and then back to the C minor chord. And so that's a half step descending. You're going from the C minor chord, right? And then you're going down a half step, which is a very dissonant interval. It's kind of, you wouldn't hear that in like classical music usually because it causes a lot of tension, right? But that kind of gives it that more like metal sound. But I'm actually surprised by how little progression there is in the chords, right? This whole thing so far has just been C minor and B major. And I talked about this a little bit in my Grace Vanderwall video that I did a couple weeks ago, how when you kind of put these guardrails on and set limitations for yourself and how many chords you're going to use, it actually forces you to be a lot more creative in your melodies and in fleshing out the instrumentation. And as you can see here, they really do have some very complex sounding melodies. Like if you listen to this without thinking about the chord structure, you might imagine that there's a much more complicated chord structure going on. And I think that's a tribute to Sarah's melodies and also to Andrea's playing, how she's doing so much and it sounds so full, even though it's a very simple chord progression.
Right now.
I like that. What was that? Da, 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 da. That was a cool little internal melody. Also, I just want to say that I really am enjoying David's playing on the drums too. He's like a very heavy hitter and has like a very steady beat. I feel bad because I don't really talk about him as much, but it's just because I'm not a drummer. So I don't have anything too educated to add, but he sounds really like steady and strong. So I appreciate his drumming as well. I liked that little reintroduction there. We had a little instrumental section that was like the introduction as well. So same as the beginning, right? That C minor rolling arpeggios.
How can you stomach it? How do you get along? Do you feel better? Just keep on faking it.
So a couple things there. I noticed that they used, Andrea used that second in there again during the verse this time to really ramp up the tension. I also really like Sarah's melody there. Da 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 da. Right, she's really strong and strident and connected. I also like how Andrea makes these little accents on the keyboard where she'll just like play like a low octave in there to just like give it a little bit more oomph, you know? I really like, I know I keep saying this, but it's something that stands out to me about them is how she really uses a whole keyboard. You know, it's very like dramatic and Beethoven-esque because you get those like really dark low notes and then the lighter high notes, right? So it gives you that like chiaroscuro, like light and darkness, shadow and light. It really amps up the drama.
Talk it over. Don't you hate moments like this? In the name of love, you get yourself together right now. Go on and do whatever, pretending it's alright, but it ain't right. No, it ain't right.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, that drumming is really, really great. I really love all of those fills. And this is similar to Woven in that there's kind of this like breakdown bridge section where it starts out much more simple, right? She just really plays those chords. It's like da da da, and then she goes down the half step again to the B. Da 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 da. Right, and then it picks up, and David starts playing more complicated, filling in the drum pattern more, and Andrea goes back to those arpeggios, those broken chords rather than blocked chords. So the momentum really picks up. So there's a dedication at the end here to Mike McGuire. It says forever in our hearts. So I guess that was a friend of the family who passed away. And I really like that strong belted note at the end. Get yourself together. Right, what note is that? So it's a B. So it's really, again, it's like not that high, you know, but still it's like she's getting to the top of her chest voice range and she's really connected and her voice is very strong. So I appreciate her belt up there. I also think they have like a very signature style. I don't know if all of these videos were recorded in the same session, but they certainly, I don't know if this is their practice space or what, but they certainly have like a very distinct look to their videos, which I think works really well for them. It has that live feel, like you're at a rehearsal with them, you know, like you're in their basement and you're watching them play these songs in like a very intimate setting. And it makes it feel very authentic and very like uninterrupted, unedited, you know, like you're really hearing them. I also liked the electronic elements. Again, I don't know if those were triggered by Dave or by Andrea, but in the breakdown, you kind of hear a little bit more of those like electronic loopy sounds. And then I also liked the weird kind of whiny keyboard sound that she uses on the chorus, the da 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 da. So yeah, overall, I think it's a really cool song. I actually enjoy this one a little bit more even than Woven. So for a couple of reasons. One is that really limited chord progression I think is interesting, you know, to have a song with two chords. It's really only C minor and B major. And I think it takes a lot of skill to write something that feels like it has enough variety to sustain the listener's interest with only two chords. And I think that's really a testament to the melodies and the strength of Sarah's voice and the musicianship of Andrea and David. I also like the momentum and the motion in Andrea's accompaniment here. I think this one feels more full to me than Woven. Woven felt a little bit more empty, and I definitely was like missing having an electric guitar, whereas this one feels like it's very rich and layered and there's a lot going on. So there's like enough to kind of sustain the power of the sound and balance out the power of Sarah's voice. It's also only 3 minutes and 10 seconds. So it's a very punchy song. You don't like have time to get bored of it. And I just think it works. It's very tight. It feels much more like a straightforward song than Woven and Stuck, because those were more of like, you know, an 8-minute kind of like classical exploration. So I think that one's a little bit more difficult to get into, even though I really like that one as well. But I think this one's a little bit more accessible right off the bat. So I don't know what the lyrics are. Let's look if they're in the description. Oh no, they're not. All right, so I'm gonna listen to it again. I'm gonna pause and then I'll come back because I don't want to have to make you listen to the whole thing again. And then I'll give you my impressions of the lyrics. Okay, so uno momento. Okay, I'm back. I think that I got most of the lyrics. There was one line that I couldn't understand, but I have comforted in your own space, just a second to relax again. It's funny inside, it don't make a difference. Are you even listening? Then the chorus is, don't you hate moments like this in the name of love? You get yourself together right now. Second verse, how can you stomach it? How do you get along? Do you feel better? Just keep on faking it. And then the second half of that line I couldn't understand. And then the chorus comes back. And then the bridge is, go on and do whatever, pretending it's all right, but it ain't right. No, it ain't right. And then it goes back to the chorus. But I just wanted to also comment that bridge is where I heard a lot of the like blues jazz influence in my brain, like the way that she like bends from below into the notes, the go on and do whatever, pretending it's all right. How she like bends into the note rather than like just hitting it dead on in the center of the pitch. So that to me kind of like makes me think of blues and jazz. So yeah, so looking at the lyrics, these actually I think are more sticky and immediately accessible also than stuck for me. There is that like repetition with the get yourself together and in the name of love. I wonder why they didn't call it in the name of love or something. Maybe there's other songs that are called that. But again, I feel like they could be a little bit hookier. But again, it's depending on like what they're going for. But I do think that this has a little bit more immediate recognition for me. So that stuck out in my brain. Even this is my second listen of the song. So I definitely think I'll walk away kind of singing this in my head a little bit. Yeah. So overall, I think it's really, really good. One of these days, I really want to hear Sarah's head voice, just out of curiosity. I just want to hear her high voice. But she has an incredible instrument. And the only reason that I'm saying that is because I think it would be really beautiful. And, based off of how developed she is as a singer in her low range. I love her power. I love the connectedness. I think she's just got an amazing voice. And I think Andrea is doing a lot. She's really carrying all of the instrumentation, and that's quite impressive. And I think David is a really strong drummer and really, makes it sound heavy, and he's really steady, and they just sound really tight as a group. So I really enjoyed this song, and I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. Thanks for the request, Mike, and I'll see you guys here next time. Until then, stay practicing and happy singing. Bye.